Yeah, well, credit to New Mexico. They did a great job. In all honesty, I'm really disappointed for Justin Crow, who did a great job with the scouting report and laid out exactly what we would see in the game tonight. And we basically saw what he had prepared for us. And our effort wasn't as good as our preparation. And I feel like coming off a competitive road game, we're a little bit disappointed in the outcome, that our overall energy level and competitive spirit would show up tonight, and it didn't. And New Mexico did a great job of taking advantage of just that. And the numbers and the stats aren't as relevant as the competitive spirit or the lack thereof that happened in the game. And so I'm disappointed in our effort. I know we've got a group that is capable of bringing much more to the table, and as we try to develop an identity, our competitive spirit has to be tied to that, and that wasn't evident tonight. And so it's disappointing. Like I said, credit to them, and we obviously got a lot of work to do.
Coaches talk about response to adversity. What did you ask after Dayton of your guys to respond to that? And beyond effort, did you see any of what you asked out on the floor tonight?
Well, you know what? Tonight is adversity. The Dayton game was a loss. College basketball, you go on the road against a good team, you fight hard, we got a lot to learn, we didn't execute great, and we lost the game. And so you do try to respond to that. But in and of itself, it's a loss more than it is, adversity is a sort of a space that you're in for a period of time, and it's a matter of how you get out of it. And I don't think we were in a negative space. We were just disappointed in the outcome of the game. Tonight presented some adversity. Now we got something we really have to respond to, and we got some soul searching. And it's good this time of year. We're trying to develop an identity as a team. And what we showed on the road at Dayton was some fight. And what we showed tonight was some quit. So we do got some soul searching and some self-exploration as a team. And, even at the end of the game, and I said this to the team after the game, I do have a level of confidence in this group, and I do think we will respond in the appropriate way. And I think we learned a valuable lesson tonight about how far we have to go.
Zach said that some of the conversation at halftime, he said he was being diplomatic about it or something, but he used the word soft. Do you agree with that assessment?
Yeah, I just used the word quit, and that doesn't necessarily characterize the individuals in the group. It's a characterization of the group and their connection with one another and the level of fight that we brought to the table. And it's not necessarily who we are, but it is how we performed. And so I don't necessarily think it's our character. No more than the fight that we showed on the road is necessarily, it's just an aspect of what we're capable of. And tonight we show we're capable of some things that are undesirable, and we need to fix it.
Is that type of play and the quit and things like that, is that kind of shown in some of the fast break points, the points in the paint and things like that you guys gave up?
Yeah, attention to detail. I think a lot of times people mistake toughness for physicality and the way guys kind of express themselves on the court. And a lot of times toughness is simply consistently being able to do your job even when things aren't going your way. And that sort of toughness inside of a team takes time to develop. That team tonight won 13 games last year, brought a lot of guys back, and they're trending up because they've probably had some experiences like today. So I think we're a team with a tough schedule that's got an opportunity to really grow and learn from this. And the confidence that I do have in the group, the makeup of the group, because of guys like Zach, that we'll go over this, we'll address it, we'll get on the practice court on Thursday, and I'd be surprised if there wasn't a positive response.
I know you said some of the stats and some of the numbers aren't as important as what you saw, but the 36% going 23 of 64 from the floor. What did you see that just kind of was that effort part of the struggle offensively, or was it just some bad looks, or kind of what did you see?
No, I thought we had some good looks. We had some point blank looks. We do have some guys that are still searching for individual confidence. And that can oftentimes create some selfishness, even if you're not talking about a selfish individual. I don't think there's necessarily a situation where we have a selfish team. But when you're trying to play well and you really want to perform, sometimes your focus gets narrowed on yourself. And it's hard to think about that and the whole at the same time. And part of our challenge is to try to get them to think more about the whole. And that does correlate some with the fact that we've got a new group of guys who are playing together and have a new opportunity and want to make the most of it. And so giving some of that up and trusting yourself and trusting one another, the cream kind of rises. And that's sort of what you saw on Friday night. They just kind of got lost in the game, and the next thing you know, a double-digit lead had become a tie game and a 1-point game with 2.5 minutes to go. And we didn't have that same sort of spirit. We didn't let go enough, and we missed a couple of chippies and a couple of easy shots, and guys got a little tight, and then they started thinking about themselves instead of just getting lost in the battle.
As you said, new group, so going through this kind of like 2 losses in a row, how important is going through these and like coming out on the good side of it?
I think the challenge for me, and the good thing is I'm a little bit older now, that I have to maintain a focus on the big picture. And I've been doing this long enough to know that adversity is really an opportunity for you to grow. So I think one of the great things about having a great schedule is that you do have to keep bringing it. You know, you're going to have to respond. And I think for what we want to do from a program standpoint, these lessons can really be good if you take advantage of the opportunity to make the most of these lessons. And we sure got ourselves a pretty good opportunity tonight. And we'll find out a lot about ourselves. But, you know, we played Oklahoma State in a close scrimmage. And I remember asking these guys this past week, doesn't that seem like a really long time ago? And they're like, yeah, it was like October 15th, but it seemed like forever ago. And so will this. If we learn from it and grow, and we'll be able to point to it at some point as something that helped us become who we expect to become. And I have to have that foresight so that I can share it with them. But if I wallow, then so will they. And I won't. And so we'll get better.
What did you see either in the first 2 games or practice that earned Jefferson a starting nod tonight? But then Jalen still got 22 minutes.
Jalen was 5 minutes late for a film session last night, so I brought him off the bench. And I could have given the opportunity to any number of guys, but I wanted to put the best defensive team on the floor. And Jefferson's one of our better defenders, so I wanted to start the game with him, and it's as simple as that. Jalen's role is as a defender, but he was late, 5 minutes, you know, whatever, traffic, whatever kept him. I wasn't going to suspend him, I wasn't going to do, but I was just going to bring him off the bench. It was as simple as that.
Xavier Foster gets a few minutes there at the end.
Yeah.
What have you seen from him lately, and what are some of the things that he has to do to find himself in a bigger role?
Stack days together, he's just learning the game. He's bought into the team concept. This journey for him is about growing as a young man and then carrying that growth onto the basketball court and learning basketball concepts so that he will have an opportunity to get confidence in what we're doing. And then once he does that, the talent part will take hold because the talent is really significant. But his attitude is so great. Everybody in his circle, they have a great perspective on where he is. And we all, as a team, know that he's a guy with tremendous future. But he's been out of basketball for a long time, and he's always relied on his physical ability. And so some of the simple things that go into executing and being a part of a team, he's just developing those things. So there's an appropriate pace that he needs to be at, and he embraces that, and I appreciate him for that.